Trust me, anyway. All right. Of the Detroit News, you know, Detroit has some of the best sports writers in the country. That's not, you know, that's pretty well known. But McCosky, could you repeat your answer?
Yeah, no, I did myself with Dave.
Okay, there you are. Or now it's Detroit Murder. Hey, it looked like he makes the team. He gets the last spot on spring training. All right. Like at least he's has a first inning. Where does Daniel Norris stand right now for the?
He's going to finally get a start on Saturday. It's really, I feel like they put him in a kind of a bad situation because he's going to go to the start, but just last week he pitched and released the other day at 58. You know, Daniel, he's fired up. A lot of times his adrenaline gets in the way, and that's what's trying to prevent. He's trying to go in there calm and just let his athleticism take charge, which he's got a ton of.
Well, Chris McCosky, Detroit News, you mentioned his athleticism. We talked to him a couple of weeks ago on the show, and he spoke of being able to put a couple of miles an hour of velocity on his fastball. He's up to 94. So that sounds good, but still, here's somebody who's been injury prone, didn't win a game last year. And you're even writing that possibly the Tigers, they haven't necessarily done it yet, but what about an opener? You know, like the Tampa Bay Rays tried last year and something. Is that something I might do for a Daniel Norris outing? Actually have somebody else throw the first inning? What's going on there?
Well, yeah, if they ever did do it, Daniel would be the guy that would be, you know, they'd put somebody in front of him and let him go from the, whatever, third to the sixth or seventh. But Doug and I talked about that yesterday, and that's not in the plans. Daniel hasn't really touched 94 in a game, by the way. So if he's got 94, it'd be a good time to show it. He's pretty much been 90, 91, 92 in his release outing. So he needs to, I mean, that'll all come, but again, it goes back to my original point is he needs to work, and he needs to pitch.
Yeah.
He can get some steady month or two of pitching. He'd get back.
Well, what are the odds that he stays on the staff? I know that the idea was when he made the Tigers this year after so-so spring training, 2-2, 6.75 ERA, that, well, just maybe what they would do is send him down to Toledo. And that wasn't necessarily...
It needs to be a long, it doesn't pitch every, you know, sporadic innings or sporadic couple innings. He is. They believe right now he's the number 6 starter in the organization, that he needs to go and get himself back into that routine where like he was at 15 and 16 when he was doing some real productive things.
Time ERA.
He's a real legitimate 2 or 3 pitch. Look at how it takes a while for guys to get it. Last couple of years, he's had one of the best opponent batting averages against, one of the lowest. The strength, the league of strength are way high, really good. And he's come a long way. And the advantage is he's that over Daniel. You know, they were both, the Tigers traded David Price to get both of those guys. The advantage of Boyd is that his health. If Boyd's been healthy, he's been able to develop. It is innings. You know, even if Daniel was in the rotation, he was going to have an inning limit. It's all health related with Daniel. It's not, you know, we'll like one guy more than another guy. Daniel's going to be in the pitch.
Do you think Norris has a real future with the Tigers? I mean, you know, you mentioned him as a 6th starter. He didn't win a game last year, but then again, he's approaching his prime. You know, they got him from the beginning. Now, and hoping for the best out of a pitcher who's been injury prone over the years.
I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you, they have 4 or 5 prospect pitchers that are in AA and AAA right now who are coming in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So if Daniel and you know some of these other, you know, Zimmerman will be gone by then. Boyd, for him still. I mean, that's the truth, and these guys show it. So it's just a lot of things have worked against him. I think he's going to have a career. I think Daniel Norris is going to be in the major leagues for a long time. I don't know if he can always be with Detroit the way things look right now, but he's going to be in the big leagues. I can pretty much guarantee that. He's got too much stuff.
Well, we're talking to Chris McCosky. He covers the Tigers for the Detroit News, Red Wings, as well as the Pistons. Is that correct, you say?
I have done all of them. The only one that I know of in this market that's covered as a beat all four. I'm sure there's probably some guys in other markets I have no idea. But in this market, John, I think I'm really fun. I don't know. I'm not getting a pay raise for that, you know what I mean? But what do you jack of all trades and a master of none? What's going on there?
Well, as a sports talk show host, we got to sort of, from the pennant race, let's say, no, you're as a sports talk show host or a columnist, you're talking about what's hot right then. And, as a beat writer, sometimes that's not necessarily the case. Not to knock a beat writer. I have played that game, Chris McCosky. But I did want to ask where the Tigers feel they are right now. I mean, a couple of years ago, they made a lot of deep fact that they were playing the Tigers a lot, and the Tigers were playing, I think it was 3 team that would win their division, and a pretty good team in the Cleveland Indians. Do the Tigers feel that they can contend with the Twins and the Indians this year, or are they still a year or two away?
Yeah, they're still 2 years. So this is really early in the rebuild right now. Second year of the rebuild. So I don't think they have any delusions of the things. I think they want to be competitive, and they want to play good brand of baseball, which they've been doing so far. They have some of the young guys in slowly. They got two floated contracts. Zimmerman will be gone after next year, and Miguel Cabrera is going to be here for eternity. So that's been writing about it for 2 years. They held on to guys with big contracts for too long, trying to make one more run, but they never got it. It's over. They got to start over, build something that can sustain.
Well, how long do you think? I mean, you mentioned that Cabrera is there for eternity, and I know, let's see, he was born in '83, so he's 35, but maybe 5 more years left or so. Is that a good thing for the Tigers, even just for branding, that they have an established star?
It is a double-edged thing. I mean, when that contract was given, I don't think anybody figured he was going to be a great player at 40. He was a very good one. He still could be a very good one, like Albert Pujols-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Or he may not have Triple Crown numbers as well. He's had 2 bad injury-plagued years. But yeah, there's something to be said for that. But more of it was, they want him going to the Hall of Fame with the Tigers. There's value in that. There's the fact that this is where he ended up, playing the ball for his career. But right now, they need him to lead, and he's doing that. They need him to produce. He's starting to heat up a little bit. He's been hitting the ball hard and not having much to show for it. They can't have him here as a figurehead only and hit 200. Can't expect him to be a Triple Crown guy either. He's not that anymore.
Twins, Yaz, and the thing that bothered me, it didn't get more attention. Maybe in Detroit it did, but nationally. But I do think that one of the things that holds back baseball is that you don't identify player with team so much, and that is hurt with branding. And that's actually one of the reasons why I like contracts, maybe like what Cabrera has, or for that matter, what the Braves have done with Ozzie Albies, let's just say, or Ron Acuna Jr., and it's actually establishing them with the franchise. This isn't throwing 94. Maybe it's only up to 91 or 92. That's what McCosky is reporting, but we'll see. You say Saturday is when Norris is going to finally get a start. Saturday. Okay, so we look forward to that. Tri-City Sports Now, I'm going to come back with Alex Doherty, A to Z Sports Nashville. Do the Predators go up 3-1 with the Stars, or does a lack of speed mean that they are going to be tied coming back to Nashville?